right. I've been given the official thumbs up. Students, families, supports, and other esteemed guests, on behalf of the incredible faculty and staff here at MSU Denver's Department of Social Work, I welcome you to our Spring 2022 BSSW Senior Celebration. My name's Jess Rettram. I am chair of the department, and I'm an associate professor in our department. Just a quick note, we are recording this event, and it is being live streamed. Just thought you'd want to know. So, first and foremost, esteemed guests, show your appreciation for these amazing soon-to-be graduates who sit before us. I am going to start us off with some important acknowledgments as we begin today's ceremony. So MSU Denver acknowledges the indigenous people and land of Auraria and the broader Denver area. We honor and acknowledge that we are on traditional territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations. This area was also the site of trade, hunting, gathering, and healing for many other Native nations: the Lakota, the Ute, the Kiowa, the Comanche, the Apache, Shoshone, and others. We recognize the indigenous peoples as the original stewards of the land, water, plants, and animals who call this place home. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. Let us also acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this territory. We respect the many diverse indigenous peoples still connected to this land on which we gather. We pay our respect to them and give them thanks to all tribal nations and the ancestors of this place. We also want to recognize the community and families of Auraria displaced by the creation of this campus for MSU Denver to have a place that we now call home. So thank you for allowing me to give that acknowledgement. I also have another solemn acknowledgement that I want to share. We had an important loss in our community. Dr. Larry Curry taught for us as an affiliate and as a full-time faculty for many years, and he died last August. Dr. Curry was an established clinical social worker in Colorado for over 4 decades. He was dedicated to the community and his students here at MSU Denver, and his loss was deeply felt by our community. So Larry is one beautiful soul of many that we lost this year. I know many of you out there have also lost those in your community, your personal and your professional worlds. So I'm going to ask that we take a moment of silence to reflect and show our solidarity in that loss of life and the many other types of losses we've had to endure over the last year. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you for taking that time. So, this has been another fill in the blank with any adjective that you feel passionate to say. Academic year, oh my gosh. The Department of Social Work meets important workforce shortage needs, and our undergraduate program here at MSU Denver is celebrating our 25th year anniversary. So that's 25 amazing years of undergraduate social work education, and we've also had a decade of our master's program in the works. In 1992, we hired our first faculty to start the social welfare major in the College of Letters of Arts and Sciences as an accredited social work program, and we were accredited in 1996. In 2006, we were the first CSWE undergraduate online program to be accredited. Since then, 2,412 total social work degrees have been awarded, and we're still counting. Most of our graduates go on to work in Colorado as therapists and practitioners in a variety of settings. We solve complex social problems facing individuals, families, and communities, and we excel in our relationships in Colorado communities. We're known for forming deep partnerships and working hard for vulnerable populations. We believe in and are committed to our students. You are tomorrow's thought leaders and how we're going to be addressing complex problems facing us. Because the celebration is bittersweet. It's been incredibly hard the past 2 years for all of us, but especially our most vulnerable communities. We, as students and faculty, have been forced to learn, live, and work in many ways we've never faced before, but we are here. We made it. We continue to persevere and show our resilience through a dual pandemic, which continues which causes more deep introspection for us about what it means to practice social work from an anti-oppressive, anti-racist lens. And we continue to seek ways to reach individuals, families, and communities we serve in creative and innovative ways, given those shifts. We're incredibly proud of all of our undergraduates and graduates. You've worked really hard this year to hone your foundational knowledge and practice to join the national workforce of an estimated 650,000 active social workers in the United States. And we have so much to do to support vulnerable families facing these all new uncertain times and health challenges. So the work you do in our world will result in social health and behavioral health improvements and in the lives of individuals, families, and communities. So we look to you now that you're walking away from us on your next step in your journey to continue to develop and serve your communities well. So we are here to honor you. You deserve to celebrate in your accomplishments as you begin this brave new career in social work and celebrate those who were with you along the way. So graduates, you please take a moment to stand and turn to look at your guests. And with voice and applause, please show your appreciation. We know you, but also your supports have sacrificed a lot to help you come here today to this time. So now I invite you to sit back and enjoy the rest of our ceremony. Please join me in welcoming who is up next, Dr. Joe Bailey, who's Interim Assistant Dean in the Dean's Office in our College of Health and Applied Sciences.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Social work class of 2022. You look amazing. I don't know if you know that. Do you feel amazing? I'm sorry. The Richter didn't even. Do you feel amazing? Yes. And why not? You know what you've done to get here for the past 4, 5, 6, 8 years. You've been on a journey to today. By my conservative calculations, you spent over $30,000, lost about 1,800 hours of sleep, commuted almost 9,000 hours over 5,000 miles, drank about 640 cups of coffee, spent about 5,000 hours of studying to get here today. I made that up, but I tried. I did try. Sounds good. Yes, this day marks the end of a long, perhaps arduous journey for you. And for what? You, social work class of 2022, 63% of whom are first-generation students. 61% of you, persons of color. You have joined the population of approximately 39% of adults with bachelor's degrees in this country, an achievement that for many of you, your parents or grandparents could only have imagined. You are the pride of your ancestors and the pride of MSU Denver. You have sought your destiny and the dreams of your forebears and achieved. After years of hard work, sweat, tears, growth, and dreams, today marks the beginning of a new chapter in your life, full of promise and hope, and with good reason. The great Oprah Winfrey said, "There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive." And she was right, and you are entering a profession that is a calling with purpose and meaning. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" But service is what you do as social workers. You serve those in need. Where there are the voiceless, the marginalized, disenfranchised, troubled, there you are, making a difference, improving lives and communities. This will be the work that you do, the meaningful life you will lead. It will be the relationships you form and nurture. It will be the comfort you bring to someone grieving. It will be the child who finds a loving family and a loving family who finds a child. The elder who knows they are valued. The veteran who has a home. The person who had an addiction who now has a job. The kid who stays in school and goes on to college. The person with a mental health challenge who has found their voice. The victim of violence who becomes a survivor. The hungry family whose bellies are full. The neighborhood where everyone feels safe and part of a community. As social workers, you will have the opportunity to enter the lives of vulnerable people and walk beside them and serve them. So I hope you feel the power of your accomplishment today, the satisfaction of a job well done, and the contentment of knowing the significance of your life's work. This work, social work, so full of purpose, is the next phase of your journey. So please let me, on behalf of the Dean of the College of Health and Applied Sciences, thank you for the work you are set out to do. It is hard work, important work, and work that means so much to so many. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2022. You are amazing. And it is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who makes all this possible for us, Dr. Alfred Tatum, our Provost and Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to join you and be a momentary witness of your accomplishments. I have the distinct pleasure of serving as the Provost and Executive Vice President of MSU Denver, but I'm a social scientist and a former elementary school teacher who worked closely with social workers. And one of the words that stood out to me the most was, and I'm going to share this word with you, hope you take it away, is interrogation. As a social scientist and a teacher, I always ask the question, what am I missing? Because I see far too many students and adults who surrender their life chances before they get to know their life choices. You have entered one of the most consequential professions at a consequential time. And I know, based on my knowledge of your faculty, that you are supremely prepared to execute your current and future professional responsibilities. So we hope the lessons you've learned and the friendships that you made will sustain you as you move forward. I charge you to seek that which inspires and impresses you as you make inroads to inspire and impress others. Never become imprisoned by smallness. Because when you do, or if you become paralyzed by fear, it is at that moment that others may need you the most because they may be experiencing the suffocation of their own humanity. As a social scientist, there was a theologian who said, we must seek to destroy everything that goes against our humanity. That's why you're here. Quick sidebar. You also have the most impressive mortar caps and decorations. That's not in my speech, but I said that earlier. So I don't know if that was part of your study or a learning outcome, but it's very impressive. So you're going to represent us well on Friday. You know, but entering the field of social work is not a crucible. It's the nesting ground for experiencing the beautiful and most menacing parts of our multi-textured humanity. I know for certain that you will be challenged to excavate something deeper and more meaningful inside of you. Never allow someone's future to hemorrhage in your presence if you are in a position to make an impact. Take what you've learned from your professors, knowledge about inequities that litter our humanitarian landscape, human development across the lifespan, advancing science and mathematics, becoming advocates, and conducting high-quality research that informs our democracy. You have to contribute to the knowledge base of social work. That's how you give back. I also want you to take away that what has been offered to you is far from complete. You must create new platforms and new knowledge in response to the inevitable shifts that will come. MSU Denver is a great place. I've been here for a year and I'm absolutely convinced. You're graduating from a great department and a great program. I'm absolutely convinced of that too, but you must be greater. From birth onward, education is the pillar that always enriches, and you're leaving here with a degree. So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and alumni, I say go forth, be extraordinary, make an impact. This world needs you. Forever remain a road runner on the move. Congratulations to each of you.
So many friendly faces in the audience. Hi all, I'm Dr. Kay Scherer. I'm one of the full-time faculty members in the department and also the BSSW program director. And it's just such a privilege to see you all here today in person with family and friends. We're just so honored to be able to host this event and see many of our faces here today. I feel really lucky to have been able to play a small role in your overall journey towards your degree today. I know there's some folks watching from home, so hello. We're so glad you're here to help us celebrate your graduates. Or to say it another way, bienvenidos familias a la graduación de sus estudiantes. Gracias por celebrar con nosotros. Or in other words, welcome everyone. One of my jobs here today is to highlight you all, your hard work and your accomplishments, your many contributions to our community, our department, our university. So for those of you who know me, you might not be surprised that I'm hoping you'll humor me with an activity. Yeah, I'm gonna read off some statements. And I'd like each of you to either stand or raise your hand if the statement applies to you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let's practice. How many of you are graduating from MSU Denver in 2022 with a Bachelor of Science in Social Work? Woo! Nice. Great, great. That was a practice run. All right. How many of you worked while you were in this program? Thank you. I know there's going to be a lot of standing and sitting, just to warn you. How many of you navigated your way through the program full time? Great. How about folks who navigated through the program part-time? Thank you. How many of you binged watched some Netflix as a way of coping with the stress of the program? A lot of folks, yeah. How about this one? How many of you juggled some family care while you were in this program? Thank you. How many of you are the first or one of the first people in your college, in your family to graduate college? Amazing. How many of you had more than 10 years between completing high school and your BSW degree? Yeah. How many of you carefully calculated how many absences you could have in each of your classes this semester and make sure you could use them all? Yeah, great. How many of you felt like you had a breaking point in the program and you weren't sure if you'd finish? And you're here. How many of you are going right into an MSW program? Wow. Maybe you'll stay standing or with your arm up if you're transitioning here at MSU. Thank you. How many of you use TikTok to cope with the stress of the program and the pandemic? I know. Last one, and this is for everyone here in the audience today and on stage. How many of us are so proud and impressed at the accomplishments of this graduating class? That seems right. Well, I appreciate you all for humoring me with this activity. And now that you all have an even better picture of who our amazing students are, I want to share some other inspiring words about our graduates. You seniors may recall a survey that I sent out a couple of weeks ago where you shared some words of wisdom about your experiences in the program. And I'll just say I was really inspired by what I read. I mean, I'm kind of a sappy person, but I was definitely tearing up as I read some of your survey responses. They were super touching. And I'm going to share some of those responses back with you all. I won't be able to read them all, unfortunately, but I have some beautiful examples here to share. So when I asked, what is one of your favorite memories of the BSW program, here's some examples of what you all shared. I really enjoyed the well-being class I took with Dr. Kristen Danhoff. I looked forward to that class every week, and I really grew as a person. The day we got to go to school for the first time since COVID and see our peers' faces in person, totally agree. One of my favorite memories from my time in the BSW program was building relationships with faculty and colleagues. I really appreciated all the support and getting to meet and work with my colleagues. Another person shared, at the end of the semester in Generalist Practice 2, Dr. Oberman had our class make a memory collage. I still have a copy of it on my phone. It gives me so many happy memories of the bonds that we formed in our classes. Being in breakout rooms during COVID and venting about life, work, school, anything other than what we were supposed to actually be doing. Don't tell my professors. I think the cat's out of the bag now. Being able to do internships. They allowed me to find my passion and stay connected with the work, especially when we were all online in classes. This one just says, Dr. Ritter's lectures. Working in groups, in classes, and getting to know my wonderful peers. One of my favorite memories was interacting with students who are passionate about humanity, equality, and social change. Taking the environmental social work class with Barbara Decker. The close friends I've made, I love them truly. And last, I've fully enjoyed this program. All of the professors have been so great, so informative, so supportive. I've been able to meet such wonderful peers who I hope to continue to get to know after the program. Thank you all. Reading these statements brought so much joy to my heart, and I appreciate you sharing these memories with everyone. I also asked you, what's one thing you learned that you'll never forget? And here's some examples. This person says, geez, a lot. Most importantly, the willingness to be a lifelong learner and hold myself accountable. I will never be 100% culturally competent, but always being proactive about understanding and respecting others' cultures, perspective, experiences, and views. This person shared how much capacity I have for growth and becoming a better person. What microaggressions are and how present they are. Don't let your ego get in the way. You're doing this for your client, not for yourself. It's okay to be vulnerable. Treat every opportunity as a chance to make an impression. How to see the world from the perspective that so much has gone wrong in people's lives is caused by injustices, systemic oppression, and inequalities. I learned what epistemology means. The definition itself isn't complicated, but the theory of it is. Understanding epistemology has made me dig deeper as a social worker. Ugh. Cultural competence is impossible. We must strive for cultural humility. Empathy is so important. That was in all caps, by the way. I don't think I did that justice. Sometimes sitting back and listening to others is the best way to engage. That I don't need to know everything all the time, and often there's no right answer, just a better one. The best thing I learned is how to foster and invest in relationships with other students and professors. I've created so many beautiful relationships with future friends and mentors, and I'm eternally grateful for that. But the most common comment in this section on what you all learned, do you want to guess? Glad it's over. Self-care. So many of you shared about self-care as one of the important things you learned in this program and on this journey. I mean, it's been a heck of a couple years, so I'm glad that felt like a meaningful lesson. And I'll share just one quote on that topic. One thing I'll never forget is how crucial self-care is. During my journey through this program, I've learned how to prioritize my well-being, ask for help, and actually take a day off once in a while. Learning this has not only shaped and prepared me for my social work career, but has revolutionized my outlook on living and how I see myself as a person. Powerful self-care. I'm not only really proud of what you've accomplished during your time in this program, all that you've learned, but I'm really excited about all that you're going to do in the world after you graduate and move forward. Here's a couple examples of what you shared about what you want your impact to be in the world after you graduate. I will help change child welfare policy for the better. Yeah. It's fun when you recognize underrepresented students to pursue higher education and helping them through the process. I'd love to know that my efforts helped bridge the academic gap. I don't know who that was, but we may want to talk later about working at MSU Denver, because it's pretty. People in hospice care who are treated with equanimity and respect, regardless of race, religion, or sexual orientation, gender identity. I will have paved the way for other older women of color who've thought about going back to college later in life. I will be the person I needed when I was in their position. Break the stigma of mental health and provide better resources to marginalized communities. I've saved lives. I hope my clients remember me as someone who's authentic and someone who helped them grow and discover new things about themselves. I don't know about you all, but I feel awfully inspired by all of those impact statements and all of the joy and care that you're bringing out into the world. To wrap up my introductory comments here, I know just a couple more comments from the survey, but this time to the question, what's one of the first things you'll do when you graduate? Here's what you said. Go to a Rockies game, take a deep breath, relax. This person is going to update their resume and spend at least 3 straight weekends deep cleaning my house. So productive. This person shared, drink some lemonade. Life threw me lemons, and I've used my life's pain to create sweetness. Drink a beer. Sleep, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Start my master's program. I think I'll have a happy cry. It's taken me 13 years to get my BSSW, and I'm sure a lot of emotions will surface. Yeah. Here's another person who's going to go on a vacation and sleep a lot. Go camping and finally celebrate my graduation, marriage, and birthday after so much time focusing on school. Take my family out to eat and cry. I'm not sure if those go together. Spending time with my family. And last but not least, I would love to sleep 8 hours a night instead of 4 to 5. And I actually want to sit outside and enjoy a book that's not a social work textbook. Yes, a good goal. Well, thank you all for sharing those words of inspiration and joy with us all. I hope you have time to read and vacation and rest, be with family, sleep, of course, and all the things as you move forward in your journey. You deserve all of that and more. So now that we've had a little bit of a chance to connect with each other and understand what this journey has been like for you all, I'd like to introduce the next section of our program, our faculty remarks. As you know very well, completing an emotionally and intellectually challenging program like this one is an incredible accomplishment. I know I speak for everyone up here, around here, when I say it's just been a total privilege to be part of your journey. This has also been an especially wild couple of years, so we wanted to make the most of this opportunity to connect with each other and make this graduation ceremony as personal as possible. So each of your full-time BSSW faculty members are going to share a few words about this journey, and I'm going to start by introducing our first speaker, Dr. Jessica Ritter.
Wow. Hello and congratulations, BSSW graduates. What a beautiful, happy, and emotional day. Today, I've had something on my mind that I thought I would share with you. And I've been reflecting a lot about the workplace. I've been thinking a lot about my own workplace and the fact that you all are going to enter all kinds of different workplaces, even if you go to graduate school first. But I've been thinking about how important it is to have a healthy workplace where we feel heard, supported, and we're able to show up with our whole intersectional selves. How much of our happiness is connected to our fulfillment at work. And I guess I've been thinking about my own experience because I feel so lucky to have a really happy experience in my job here at MSU Denver. And I feel so incredibly grateful to have colleagues that I work with, many of them that are on the stage, some of them who are not here today, where I simply love going to work. I love spending time with these people. You know, we have similar values that we share, which is really important. And we all feel like we're working towards some pretty important and lofty goals. You know, we spend a lot of our time at work, so I think it's important that we find a place to be where we can feel fulfilled, where we can put our skill set and our passions to work, and to feel like we're really making a difference in the world or the lives of others. As social workers, when you enter all the various workplaces and workspaces you will be, I hope that you'll be able to ask this of your workplace, that they treat you with the humanity that you deserve, and support your professional growth and aspirations. I'm going to ask you to think about what would make you feel happy and fulfilled in a workplace. For me, it would be a few things. It would be a willingness to have hard conversations with each other and to work through areas where you sometimes disagree. A place where you support each other when things feel hard, either at work or in your personal life, where you can share your fears and vulnerabilities with each other. A place where you can dream a little bit is really nice. And a space where you celebrate each other's growth and accomplishments, not only your own, but of your colleagues. But I also think it's important to think about how we show up in our spaces. And for this, it means a number of things. Being willing to look at those areas where I need to grow and be open to feedback from others. To think about the energy that I bring to a workspace, and I do think energy is a real thing. You know, we know it when we feel a lot of that kind of negative energy. Being willing to step into new roles that scare me a little bit and where I can continue to grow and be challenged, and speaking up when I see things in my workplace that don't feel right. And I want to acknowledge that these things are not always easy to do. They take intentionality to do them. But I think that they're important, and I think you just have to know that it's always kind of a work in progress. So I'm just gonna close here by saying what a complete honor it is to be able to do the job I do, to work with students like you who are striving to make our world a better place and to be these incredible change agents in our world. So I really honor you. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Julie Cloxton.
Hi. Y'all look so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to be here with you. I was so excited that I left my gown at home. And you know what? That's okay. I got in here and I was like, I wouldn't want to be any other place, even if I didn't have what I have on. So it's just so amazing to be here with you all. I want to just thank you all from my soul. To all of my students, to the department, to my esteemed colleagues, I love you all. You are amazing. I am an alum of MSU Denver, so I have a special affinity for this university from my BSSW and my MSW. So when I say woot, I'm gonna need y'all to say woot. So woot! Woot, woot! All right. So my biggest flex, because you know I have to stay up on teenage words because I have a 13-year-old. So my biggest flex every day is that I get to live my dream. I have had a heart to teach since I was in 3rd grade. I get to be an educator, interacting and learning from you all, and sharing with you all of you. So thank you so much. When I was in 10th grade, my late mother, I called her Mama, she told me to set an appointment with my guidance counselor to get myself college ready. She took off work and the counselor never showed up. After an hour, she stopped at the front desk and rescheduled. I told her that I was capable of meeting with my counselor, and I would let her know what I needed to do when the appointment day arrived. So when that day arrived, I walked into my counselor's office, and as soon as I inquired about what I needed to do to become college ready, she scoffed and she said, "You aren't college material. Take a trade, figure something out." Now, there's nothing wrong with trades. I've taken a few, and they have served me well. But college is my jam. It really is. I'm telling you that each and every one of you are capable of doing hard things. I just witnessed you do them. You're going to run into more challenges. They're going to be scary, and there will be a lot of uncomfortable things. But I say to you, push past and do it afraid. Each and every one of you are scholars. Remember I call you scholars in class? Some of you will know. Y'all are scholars. In my hood, when someone is doing something great, we say, that's some good-ish. You are without a doubt shining in royalty today. The earth dances around the sun, no matter what is happening in your life. And I think that us living through the last couple of years has shown us that, right? The pandemic has touched each of us in some way. We have dealt with an ongoing double pandemic, and for some it has been extremely traumatic. For many of you, there have been major disruptions that showed up on the scene, just as if it was waiting for you to attend school. Just like, oh yeah, you're in school now, I'm fixing to come. And it came to interrupt your groove, but it did not stop your groove, because you are here. We all handle things differently, but I can assure you that life will not stop while you are on this journey, and you are capable of coping with life's curveballs. You all know I always tell you that our clients are priority, and our priority is to do no harm. It is our goal, and you also need to know you are important as well. You matter. Reach out for support, supervision, consultation, and find positive coping mechanisms as you go forward. Today, you have accomplished an enormous feat, and it is indeed a big deal. I just need y'all to clap. It's a big deal. If I could go back and give myself some advice, I would say the habits you start today will chase you through your career. Make time for yourself regularly. While I was always saying self-care to y'all, but not really giving you a lot of time to do self-care. And so I tried. Remember, some of y'all will know, I would intentionally try to do some self-care things because it's that important to take care of yourself. Self-care is whatever you need. It could be a therapist, an earlier bedtime, staying hydrated, nourished, and sometimes it's eating the frog, as we call it in my family, which means get to work done. You do that so that it's not weighing on you, weighing on your mind, weighing on your soul. And be okay with doing the best that you can for your clients. They may not make the choices you think are best for them. You may not always see the change. But please know you are sure enough planting seeds. You're going to be an ongoing part of change from here on out. So become a lifelong learner. Just relent, because that's what y'all are going to be doing. There's so much to stay up on in our world. It's ever evolving. And it's okay to love people. Like, it's not a weird thing. I love you all. It is okay to love people, even if they get on your nerves. Nobody can take your education from you. This is not the end of your story. Sorry, it's not. This is just the beginning. You are on a quest, and I'm so excited about having you join the world of social work. Like, totally excited. You all are amazing. I'm excited because collectively we can all make a difference in this world. Now go out and do that micro, that meso, and that macro good-ish. Onward and upward blessings with love. I'm so sorry. Dr. Oberman is next.
Hello, all. A testament to how wonderful we love learning with you and in our journeys is that now I need some reading glasses. But when thinking of you all graduating, the class of 2022, I began to have a sense of wonder and possibility. Through the thick and thin of the past 2, 3, 13, 8 years, you all have brought it. And what I mean by brought it, you might ask, you brought creativity, you brought curiosity, critical reflection, steadiness, and radical imagination. A wise doctor once said, it is important to act as if it were possible to radically transform the world. Dr. Angela Davis. I would go so far to say that you all are not just acting, but rather being. You are transformation. I was very excited to hear about epistemology in Dr. K's piece. So from 39 to your philosophy of social work class, sometimes Dr. Hunt and I wonder, future Dr. Hunt and I, very soon, yes. Future Dr. Hunt and I wonder about our impact in that philosophy course. But what I want to talk today is about that radical possibility, that ability that you all have to change. Remember social construction? Those ideas of Puritanism, work ethic, no pain, no gain. It's all socially constructed. And you can radically imagine something completely different from where you all go from here. And so you all have learned the theories, the histories, the identities, your practice skills, etc. Amidst this learning and unlearning journey, you have also gained that ability to radically reimagine what is possible. When you think from your definition, I'll remind you just in case if you don't remember, but radical imagination refers to the practice of creating purposeful and positive spaces and times for imagining together and for debating and refining shared vision of the past and the present. And an important part about this is we don't do this alone. We do it together. So for all of you that are introverts and kind of struggle to get out, we need to imagine and radically dream together. I want to talk about one area. It's going to go back to that social construction of Puritanism and work ethic. There's a movement now about radical pleasure, about pleasure activism. And so I want to talk about that for a minute. So Adrienne Marie Brown is another transformer along with you all here. Ms. Brown reimagines what is possible through radical pleasure as a form of activism in combating oppression. She does not ascribe to the no pain, no gain ideology. In the words of Ms. Brown, pleasure is a feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. Activism consists of efforts to promote, impede, or direct social, political, economic, or environmental reform or status with a desire to make improvements in society. Pleasure activism is the work we do to reclaim our whole, happy, and satisfiable selves from the impacts, delusions, and limitations of oppression and/or supremacy. Pleasure activism asserts that we all need and deserve pleasure, and that our social structures must reflect this. In this moment, we must prioritize the pleasure of those most impacted by oppression. My wish for you all, along with what Ms. Brown what I quoted, is that you create a space to radically imagine your practice and our world. Be with each other, reimagine together, and seek pleasure in all that you do, even in the hard stuff. I am so grateful for each one of you and all that you have taught me. You fuel my imagination, and you bring me great pleasure. Next up, somebody else who brings me pleasure, is Dr. Kristen Danhoff.
Task number one, I didn't fall down the gap. I was very, very worried about this. Welcome. It's so good to see so many familiar faces. I'm actually today gonna probably be shorter than you remember me in class. And, keep it with one page, friends. It's short, to the point. So welcome to our now colleagues, right? To family and to friends. I come to this space to celebrate you. You're gonna kind of hear a theme here, I think. Your accomplishments in this program and earning your degree, yes, but they are a part of who you are. I have shown up to acknowledge the whole you and all that you have accomplished while in the BSSW program. You have survived a lot while you've been in this program. It's a small understatement, I know. So I am here to celebrate all parts of you and all the hope, strength, resilience, and grit you brought with you every day. I have been known to say, some will hear this, we have got to find a way to be well in this profession of well-being. And we do. You are continuing your journey alive with dreams, purpose, and ambition to make the world a better place. It will take courage, bravery, and vulnerability to know that the work we do is amazing, essential, empowering, and challenging, traumatic, and stressful. I want each of you to thrive and not just survive. My hope for you is that you find practices that support you for the long haul in ways that allow you to be whole, to thrive, to sustain, and to heal. I see what you have to offer our communities. Let us not forget to turn that compassion, healing, gratitude, and hope towards ourselves. Some of you have already heard this from me, but I like Brene Brown and I like this a lot. So, from the gifts of imperfection, may we find the courage to let go of who we think we're supposed to be so we can fully embrace our authentic selves. The imperfect, the creative, the vulnerable, the powerful, the broken, and the beautiful. May we show ourselves and others the compassion that comes from knowing that we are all made of strength and struggle. May we create a just and equitable world where privilege isn't a prerequisite for self-expression and authenticity, where everyone feels invited and safe to express their power and their vulnerability. And last, may we experience the strength of connection, the love of belonging, and the grace of pure joy. I celebrate you. Be well. Now, please welcome Dr. Amanda Marsh-Baranski.
Wow, y'all, you did it. 0 days until graduation. Before I jump in, I want to take a quick selfie. Ready? Yes. On the count of 3, say, I did it. Oh, wait, my hand. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats, y'all. Standing here today, I feel lucky, dare I say blessed, to have had the privilege of engaging with so many of you over the past few years. I want to thank you for the opportunity to walk beside you on this journey. For those of you who know me, you know that I love TikTok. Yes, in fact, my screen time report shows that it's the self-care that I most enjoy. In this final minute that I have your attention, I'd like to share a few golden nuggets from my friend, The Talk. First, if a compliment comes to your mind, say it out loud. You never know what a kind word will do to another human being. Second, figure out what brings you joy and do that every day. Third, self-care is not an idea or a passing thought, it's a requirement. Fourth, find strength and comfort in your own flexibility and resiliency. Fifth, celebrate your accomplishments, the big ones and the little ones. Finally, speak up for what's right, slow down when you need a moment, give love, receive love, celebrate each other. Today, we're here to celebrate you. I'm here to celebrate you, and so is our next speaker, the brilliant, innovative Barbara Decker.
Brilliant and innovative. That makes me a little nervous. So hi, everyone in the room, those of you live streaming. It's so great to be able to celebrate. So I had the honor of beginning the journey with many of you in the social work department with that community engagement and civic responsibility class. So I decided to go back and review what were you up to 2 or 3 or maybe 4 years ago. So I remember the anxiety that many of you had as you were working to figure out how do you fit hours of service to the community into your lives that are already very full. But you did it, contributing thousands of hours to organizations like Art to Ashes, Denver Rescue Mission, Family Tree, so many more. And I remember that you all gamely engaged in the forced reflection that marks social work classes. You considered the difference between helping, fixing, and serving. And you entered conversations about privilege. I remember March of 2020, when we all had to figure out how to live and learn in a pandemic world. Your flexibility and resilience, then and throughout the program is impressive. Finally, I remember the passion you demonstrated in serving the community and working toward change. That passion has continued, and I'm so pleased that I have had the chance to see your continuing professional development. You're all making a difference in the world. So, since you all know how I roll, I'll end with the quote of the day that I used during the first week of community engagement. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Everyone can be great because anyone can serve." Thank you for letting me witness your greatness. And now we're going to wrap up this section with the future Dr. Hunt.
Hi. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. See many familiar faces that I have not seen in real life, so hey, y'all. It is quite an honor to be here in front of each of you, to be able to deliver the speech that I did not finish writing. And as I reflected on what exactly it is that I wanted to share with you all, there were lots of things that I wanted to share with you all. And for me, it was important to speak from a heart space and not place pressure on myself to say the right thing or, create the perfect speech. And with that, I think back to my senior year of high school. Fun fact, I never completed a college application. My mother actually was at community college at the time and completed my application for me to attend community college. I did that in 2.5 years and pursued my bachelor's, my master's, and soon to be PhD. But I think about that, and I think about the journey for myself as a first-generation student, an immigrant to the United States, and really navigating just the systems of oppression within the U.S., within my identities, and just really realizing that there is no roadmap. There is no one right way to do this. When I think about social work, I really love social work. I like to throw up my SW. I will throw up my SW. I love social work a lot and really believe that social work as a profession is situated very perfectly within society to be a conduit for change and really working to dismantle systems of oppression. And so I'm very excited that each of you have decided to pursue your bachelor's and are graduating with your bachelor's, and some of you all will be continuing on to your master's and hopefully PhD someday. We need more incredible social workers. And so just feeling an immense amount of gratitude to have been able to witness each of you in your academic journey, the ways in which that you showed up for yourself in your education, the stories that you shared, lots and lots of stories through your different assignment submissions. Very humbling to be able to witness and hold you as you engaged in critical self-reflection. It has been quite an honor to be able to serve you in these ways, and just very excited for what you will be doing next. And as you continue to engage in the social work profession, as a profession, social work gets shitted on a lot. We are at the bottom of the barrel. We will hear things about social workers don't get paid a lot. Social workers do a lot of work. It's a selfless profession. And I'm here to tell you that there's room for all of those things to be true at the same time, and you get to decide what your social work career will be like. And so as you continue on remembering and always remembering to return to center and operating from a place of integrity, remembering your why you're choosing to engage in the social work profession, and really know as a social worker, there's going to be spaces where you're not invited to, but you have every right to be. And something I have been affirming to myself as a social worker, holding my various identities, is that there is room for all of me here. And not because anyone will create that room, it's because I have decided to take up that space. And I hope as you all continue on in your journey without any roadmaps, that you all remember that there is room for all of you here, and you take up that space because your voice, your work, your passion is very necessary. So thank you all. Take good care.
Thank you, Professor Hunt, soon to be Dr. Hunt. We're moving forward from our faculty remarks. You can tell we can't help ourselves. We're so excited about your journey, and we can't help ourselves from sharing more words of wisdom with you. So for those of you who don't know, in professions like social work, pins are often used as a symbol of our shared professional identity. And this is the shared professional identity that you're stepping into today as a BSSW graduate of the MSU Denver Department of Social Work. So in this pinning process, I'm going to share some logistics here with you all. What we're going to do is a staff member is going to invite the rows of graduates here to line up here around the edge and by the windows. You'll be kind of ushered forward by a staff member where the amazing Liz De La Rosa will actually be standing right here, ready to read your name. So you have a card with your name on it. I can see it in many of your hands. And you'll hand that to the amazing Liz De La Rosa. And she'll read your name. And then what you'll do is walk over here. Smile for a picture. And then I'll hand you a pin and shake your hand, and we'll kind of pause again for another photo. And then you'll walk this way and get some additional direction from another staff member. So that's what that process will look like. I'm getting some thumbs up that says that's clear enough. Terrific. What'd you say? Thank you so much. And also give a card to the sign language interpreter. Thank you. No, I appreciate the direction. It's a team effort here. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite our graduates to begin lining up. It's okay if I just leave that there.
Are y'all ready?
All right.
And we're going to start off with Jessica Hotop. You got this. Tanya Harris. And here we have Jordan Cottrell. Ooh, I like her stool. Kimberly Liska. And here we have Jody Britton, and she is also a BSSW Social Justice Advocate Awardee. We also have Jocelyn Salazar. Hello, Jocelyn. Congrats. Thank you. And here we have Jackson Vincent. He is a Phi Alpha member. And here we have Daniel Macabe. Oh, hey there. And we have Audrey Keene. And she's one of our mentors.
Victoria Dunda. And we have also Connor Downer. Congrats. Cute puppy. All right, and we have Chloe Brooks. She is a child welfare recipient. We have Maria Ocon, and she's a child welfare scholar. And here we have Union Guo. Allison Hill. And let's give it up also for Alexis Rodriguez back at home. Thank you. And we have Anna Bohem. Like your hair. Gemma Sanchez. Thank you. Alyssa Kirkpatrick. Liliana Paola Olguin, and she's a child welfare scholar. And here we have Marisa Trujillo. And back at home, let's give it up for Abby Travers. Thank you. Valeria Garcia Salcedo. Suspense. María Sandoval. Thank you. Jocelyn Ramirez. Thank you. Samantha Moreno. Kaylee Bruner. And back at home, we have Ana Urbina, and she's a child welfare scholar. Kristen Wood. And we now have Nicholas Milonas. Pedro Daniel Zúñiga Torres. Thank you. Susan Foster. Thank you. Donna Giese. Amy Bryant. Greta Sandberg. Alejandra Baca. Flor Valdez. I just want to say I really like the caps. You were right. Yes. Almost done, I swear. And then we have Jessica Kane. She is a healthcare opportunity program scholar. Lyric Anderson. Thank you. Litzy Hipólito Rubio, Phi Alpha. That was cute. Samantha Thomas. Celine Rubio. She's a Jennifer S. Mankey Scholarship Awardee. Michelle Lynn Dunn, Healthcare Opportunity Program Scholar. Kimberly Zamora, also a Jennifer S. Mankey Scholarship Awardee. Angela Coing, a Phi Alpha member. Ashley Santa Steven. You did it. Hey, happy dance. Andrea Watkins. Margie Ramirez. And last but not least, Kiara Galvan.
Well, my smile muscles hurt already. I'm just so excited for all of you. Whew. We're closing up here soon, I promise. But before we move forward to the kind of last piece in our program, and I know we keep doing this, but can we get another round of applause for our amazing graduates? I'm very excited to introduce the next piece of our agenda together, and that's our BSSW Faculty Member of the Year. As I'm sure you all know, each year you vote on the BSSW Faculty Member of the Year. And I'll just say from my perspective, this is like the most prestigious, best award faculty can earn because it's from you. That makes it so important and meaningful. This year, you all selected the amazing Jaleesa Williams as our best part-time faculty member, who's not with us here today, but. And for full-time faculty member of the year, you've selected another amazing and super deserving faculty member, Dr. Julie Cloxton. So we've asked her to share some closing words with all of us today. Please welcome BSSW Full-Time Faculty Member of the Year, Dr. Julie Cloxton.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I'm just so grateful to be here with you all. Thank you so very much. This journey has been amazing. And from my heart, it has been just something that I have never thought that I would be able to experience. And I want you to know that every day you all are a part of that. And I just appreciate that you would come into the class in spite of or despite all of what was going on in our lives, in your lives, in the world, and you would come in and you would have conversation with one another, conversation with me. I learned so very much from you all. This was a reciprocal experience. You all, as I always tell you, are bright and scholars and amazing individuals. And I just thank you so much for coming into the world of social work, because you all have so very much to give to society. I am grateful that I have been able to be just a small part of that. Some of you I have only seen online, and so I'm seeing you for the first time now, and I'm just like, they're so beautiful. They're not a little square. And I'm just so blessed to be in this space. I just want to also say again to my colleagues that I'm grateful for the space. I believe it was Dr. Jessica Ritter that spoke to a wonderful workspace and what that does for you. And I have truly come into a wonderful workspace and am very, very blessed to be here. I just also want to tell you to make sure when you go out into the world that you just don't try to think that you have to do it all, that you have to know it all, that it's okay for you to learn as you go along this journey and this path. And to continue, as we continue telling you, always take care of yourself. Make sure that you do that. And I just, again, am just so blessed and so thankful that you all thought enough of me to take the time, because it's a busy time, to nominate me for this. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm grateful and thankful. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh, it's me again. So at this time, we're closing up here, and I'm going to invite my colleagues here on stage, as well as elsewhere in the audience, to gather towards the back. We're going to hopefully send you out of here with some joy. So while they do that and get ready for the next step here, I'm going to briefly acknowledge a couple of folks. First of all, many of you have friends. Oh, thank you. I'll see if I can work this into my words here. Friends and family who are here together today to help celebrate your accomplishments. These are the folks who supported you, brought you coffee when you need it, listened to you when you were tired or frustrated. Maybe some of them watched TikTok videos or Netflix with you. So if we could, one more really grateful round of applause for the folks, our support team here, friends and family. And then secondly, as you could guess, putting together an event like this is a lot of work. And there are a number of faculty and staff had a hand in making this all come together. So for folks who have been involved in this process, can you please raise your hand or stand up if you were involved in the planning process? They're all in the back being silly now. A particular huge bunch of gratitude for Bailey, Caitlin, Kayla, and Tariana, who did a ton of work to organize this event. Thank you. As you move forward in your career, please remember that we will continue to be here for you as a resource on your professional journey. We care about you, and I hope we will get to stay in touch. You all are simply the best, better than all the rest. So on that note, I'm going to start dismissing folks, starting with our graduates, and we're going to ask folks to exit the building. we'll look forward to pausing downstairs, maybe meeting some family members, taking some more pictures. So we'll be able to do that again, kind of outside of the DCPA. So with that, I'm going to invite maybe our first couple rows of graduates to stand and exit. Thank you all for joining us here today. Yeah.